Well, firstly, I just want to share that whenever I had a hobby, the idea wasn't for me to upskill myself or to learn a new thing. The idea was just for me to have it as a hobby. For example, when I started blogging because I was a new mom and I wanted to write about my experiences. Secondly, when I volunteered for an NGO, I just decided that that is something that I wanted to do because I wanted a long-term thing, not a once-off, let's have Mandela Day once-off. I wanted to have something that I could do for a few weeks or a few months. And I thought that the best way for me of doing it was to use the skills I already have. So, again, why is it important to upskill yourself? Like I said earlier, I didn't go into learning a new hobby to learn something new. I just did it because I thought it was going to be a fun thing. But because I started doing more of it and I started learning more about the industry, started learning more on how to improve myself with this hobby, it helped me in the workplace because sometimes you learn things that you can use, you can maybe share insights of it in the boardroom. Sometimes it sparks ideas for you that you can maybe use in a particular situation at your work. And overall, it just helped me to build confidence because I know more, so I can say something about a particular topic. And sometimes you might find that it helps you to talk to people, maybe in your office, or maybe a new friend or a new person in your network. It helps you to talk to them about a particular topic that you are now knowledgeable about. And also, if you share, someone else can learn from what you have learned. So, I only realized afterwards that these hobbies actually forced me to learn new skills. For example, when I was blogging, I learned new skills such as using the tool Canva to create graphics. I used to do a lot of research, or I used to read a lot of blogs, and whenever I saw something that I liked on a particular blog, I would then look at a YouTube tutorial, or I would read blogs on how to put this thing, like say how to put a quote into your blog post, that kind of thing. So whenever I saw something that I liked and I wanted to implement it, then I would learn how to use it. Another reason why I started learning new things is because I interacted with other bloggers and they taught me what they did, and that's initially how I wanted to better myself. With the volunteering, I learned that, there's certain organizational structures and processes that needs to be put into place. So I would learn how people would do it in their organization, and I had to adhere to their rules. So yeah, that kind of helped me with the whole communication thing, and it also helped me to understand why certain things in organizations are important. And that's how I kind of learned things along the way, even though it wasn't my reason for starting this hobby. So ways to upskill yourself is, one, a hobby like blogging. Two, another way is through volunteering for an organization. Volunteering, initially I thought that I would volunteer and I would give them a skill that I already know and that I was good at. I'm a professional writer, so I thought that I could provide them the service of being a writer, interviewing people and writing blog posts about that, because I have a background in journalism, so I thought maybe I could write blog posts for them. But when they contacted me about me wanting to volunteer, they actually told me that they saw that not my Instagram, they actually saw that my Twitter account was very active and they liked that, I was good at my Twitter. So I was asked to do that for them, to manage their Twitter account. And I didn't think that social media management was a skill of mine until someone else told me, hey, we want you to do that. Another way of upskilling yourself is by taking online courses or signing up for a webinar. I follow a lot of people that I enjoy learning from, and a lot of times you would see someone offering an online class or a free webinar, and then I would sign up for that. The reason why I follow these people, I have certain topics that I'm interested in, so then that makes me want to follow certain people. I also follow industry organizations, and last year, for example, there was an industry organization that I followed, and I saw that they offered a free online course, and I could actually learn about a particular topic that I had no idea about, and that was a month-long course that I did, and I was really grateful that I could take part in that. So my tips for you are the following. Find a hobby where it forces you to interact with people. I say this because when I was blogging, for a while I did it on my own, and then I learned a lot about Facebook groups, I learned about Twitter chats, and through doing that, Twitter chats and being part of Facebook groups, interacting in there, I met people and I went to events where I would meet people that was doing similar things to what I was doing. And yeah, I could just build relationships with people that way, that people that have the same interest, which is blogging and motherhood, because most of us blogged about motherhood. Secondly, the reason why I say interact with people, even though I started off writing about motherhood, there was a lot of bloggers that I met that wasn't married, they didn't have kids. So even though we didn't share the same backgrounds, we still shared the love for blogging, and I could learn from them, and I could, it was just a way to build connections. I've seen that with the organization that I volunteered for. It was a woman in tech organization, and I felt so kind of dumb when I started out, because I wasn't a woman in tech, I was a woman in media, and I felt a little bit, nervous about being there, because I always saw myself as someone who was technically challenged. But what I learned there was everyone treated me with respect, everyone treated me the same as they would anyone else. And I discovered that, all of us are there for like one particular goal, and that was to get more women in tech. A lot of us came there for the first time at workshops. So when you go to a workshop and it's your first time, obviously you're going to be nervous about who are you going to meet, will you meet someone, and yeah, so we had that thing in common. And also I learned that everyone has a role in the ecosystem that you are in. It also made me appreciate my workplace more, and not just the organization, the Women in Tech organization, and the workshops that I've been at. I've been at other workshops where it didn't have to do with my department at my workplace now. So at my workplace, they sometimes offer training for the specific departments. And there was one training where I was at, and it wasn't for specific for my department, but we were told that anyone is welcome. And the fact that I went, I learned new things, and it made me also appreciate that particular department's the work that they do, what each person does. And it also gave me a better understanding of what people are doing. Okay, another way of upskilling yourself is just to listen to informative podcasts. Nowadays, a lot of people are hosting live Instagram chats where they talk about the industries, and that can also be informative. So that is also a way of upskilling yourself and learning about your industry. So that's it from me. I just want to sign off by saying be open to learn, be open to try new things, because you never know where it might lead you to. I hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and also subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day. Bye.